Megan Fox.
Yeah, Megan Fox has the story.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox writes at PJ Media.
Eat Tucker.
And that was your last. Damn it, man. I cried for 2 days.
Megan, thank you very much for that.
So, I can explain the bed thing.
If you don't show up and vote, up your ass. I don't care if you're in the hospital. Crawl to the stake. Crawl there.
It's like Jesus going into the temple. He's like, I got a whip. Get out! Get out! The lovely and wonderful Megan Fox. Not that one.
Not that one. Not the weird one that drinks blood in his toe thumb.
Megan Fox.
Megan. And honestly, Megan, if you don't like it, I'm sorry.
She's the devil.
Megan Fox. Megan Fox.
I've been very nice to you, although I could probably maybe not be based on the way you have treated me, but I wouldn't do that.
You've never met a like me. You want to tangle? You want to go?
Holy sh!
Too much cussing on this. I guess we didn't bleep it, so we got to turn it off. But it's.
You pissed off the wrong woman.
Oh my God! I have been assaulted when Megan Fox runs wild on you, brother.
She's the devil.
Not for publication.
The story.
I'm Megan Fox. Thank you. Cheers.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's been a minute. It's only been a few minutes since the last time I was on with Legal Vices this morning, but I promised you that I would come back and read the court documents if I got my hands on them for the Bullhorn Betty situation going on in the Sebastian Rogers case. And I not only have the documents, but I've already redacted all of them. And so there's stuff to read. So for those of you who missed, who is Bullhorn Betty and what is the Sebastian Rogers story, you can go back and watch my live from a couple days ago about this. But I'll just give you a quick recap. Sebastian Rogers went missing 6 months ago, a 15-year-old boy with autism in Tennessee. And there is a true crime community, that covers these things. And I do more of like the law side. I do more of the courtroom. I cover what happens in court. I will watch true crime documentaries and stuff, but I'm not really a true crime streamer. So there's another community out there that does nothing but true crime streaming when these investigations are going on. Bullhorn Betty is one of them. And there are many others, as you are probably aware of, like Grizzly True Crime and all kinds of other channels that do that. Bullhorn Betty has made the news for being really aggressive. You may like her, you may not like her. Both opinions are valid, and you can have your own opinions of that. The question becomes, is she guilty of harassment and stalking of Sebastian Rogers' family? Now, she has the opinion that his mother has something to do with his disappearance. That's her opinion based on what she has seen in the case. The Sebastian Rogers family has now gotten 3 protective orders against her, and she has been arrested for allegedly violating those protective orders. So when I read the media reports on the last live stream, I couldn't find any evidence that she had done anything like stalking or harassment. It sounded like protected First Amendment activity to me. So I asked if anybody could please send me the actual affidavits, the court documents, all of that stuff, which I now have, and we're going to read and see if we can find more information. And the reason why I care about this, I'm not a subscriber of Bullhorn Betty's. I don't watch a lot of these true crime channels, so I don't, I have no dog in this fight. But when YouTubers or independent investigators or independent journalists are arrested for what looks like First Amendment activity, I get worried. I get nervous, especially because we've seen people like Laura Owens try to use harassment orders against Dave Neal to stop him from reporting on her case. When we see Lynette Preston trying to do the same thing to Jeremy Hales, using harassment orders, criminal harassment orders, to stop Jeremy Hales from talking about her case. So this is a tactic we've seen people use where it's not legitimate. It's not a legitimate concern. There isn't legitimate harassment going on. And that concerns me. Look at Turtle Boy, Aiden Carney in Boston. He is facing 120 years in prison for witness intimidation for having a 7-minute long First Amendment protest outside the McCabe's and the Albert's houses. This case is pretty similar. Bullhorn Betty has been accused of doing protests outside people's houses. Now, a bunch of you were like, you need to look into her background. She sues all kinds of people. Again, that's not illegal activity, though. By the way, you can sue people in the United States of America. You're allowed to sue whoever you want for basically whatever you want. And then a judge decides whether or not it's legitimate. So when you say to me, well, she sues people, that I'm going to have to see more. So I did find the lawsuit that she filed against Brian Laundrie's dad. Apparently, Bullhorn Betty was was protesting outside of his house because he was not, their Laundrie family wasn't cooperating with police, and there were a lot of people outside. If you recall, let's take a look back in time here to see what happened out here. Oh no, is this just going to be music? I hate these. All right, let's just read it. The father of Florida fugitive Brian Laundrie was slapped with a court summons on Monday, but it's not for helping his son allegedly dodge authorities. Christopher Laundrie has been ordered to report to a Sarasota County courtroom December 1st to answer for a small claims suit accusing him of trashing a protester's $40 lawn sign, according to Florida court records. Okay, so for right off the bat, this is a small claims court issue over $40 sign. Big deal. Who cares? The elder Laundrie lost his cool and yanked the sign off the front lawn of the family's Northport home, where people have massed for a month in protest over their son, who is being sought for questioning in the disappearance and death of Long Island native Gabby Petito. The court claim against Christopher Laundrie was filed by protester Andrew Griffin, who is Bullhorn Betty, who wrote in papers that she helped pay for a sign that read, "What if it was Cassie?" a reference to Brian Laundrie's sister. And here you have a picture of Mr. Laundrie ripping the sign out and taking it back to his house. Like, this is quite the picture. What a great picture. Whoever got that. Hilarious. All right. Touchgrass. We'll see if that's true. Touchgrass says there are tons of people reporting and saying similar things that aren't being sued. She is being sued because she's gone on their property, got in their faces, and had her subs harass them also. I don't know. We'll see if that's true. I have the court documents. We'll see. We'll see if that's true. On or about the morning of October 16th, the defendant, Christopher Laundrie, came out of his home, walked up to the sign, stole it, and walked back to his property, the court complaint said. According to the summons, the elder Laundrie is ordered to report for a pretrial hearing in December before Judge David Lee Denkin. And I believe this might be Betty here in the gray t-shirt. I'm not sure. But this was the protest that was happening outside their house. Brian Laundrie and his girlfriend Petito were on a cross-country trip when she vanished in late August. Laundrie returned home to Florida without her on September 1st and lawyered up. Okay. So that if you're going to try and tell me that lawsuit right there for a $40 sign is why I should think that she should be locked up and her First Amendment rights taken away, try again. This one is not going to do it for me. It's not even like it's not a defamation suit. It's just a small claims thing that a judge will resolve. Okay. Let's go to the court orders now in the Sebastian Rogers case. So we will now be able to look at the orders of protection that were filed by members of Sebastian Rogers' family. Now, just to let you know, I don't have any opinion on who's at fault in this for Sebastian Rogers' disappearance. I'm not that familiar with the case, and I don't know. And that's really not what I care about at this moment. I care about whether or not First Amendment rights are being squelched by the county in Tennessee. All right, here we go. I redacted as much as I could redact. I hope I haven't missed anything, but I have redacted even the first names of everybody involved just in case that there's some kind of issue. M. Bowersox, who I believe is the wife of, Sebastian Rogers' grandmother, wife of Terry Bowersox, who's the grandfather. This is her first order of protection for when she went for an ex parte order of protection against Andra Griffin, or Bullhorn Betty, who I am desperately trying not to call Bathhouse Betty like I did last time. Okay. It says here that the respondent has stalked me. That box is checked. Okay. Orders to the respondent: do not abuse, threaten to abuse, hurt, or try to hurt or frighten petitioner and or petitioner's minor children under 18. Do not put petitioner and or petitioner's minor children under 18 in fear of being hurt or in fear of not being able to leave or get away. Do not stalk or threaten to stalk petitioner and or petitioner's minor children under 18. It should be noted that Andra Griffin lives in Florida. These people live in Tennessee. According to Griffin, she has not actually had contact with any of these people directly. This is all based on her YouTube videos and her coverage of the case. Do not come about the petitioner and or the petitioner's minor children protected by this order, including coming by or to a shared residence. They don't have that. Do not contact the petitioner and or petitioner's minor children protected by this order, either directly or indirectly by phone, email, messages, mail, or any other type of communication or contact. Do not threaten to hurt any animals owned or kept by the petitioner or their children. And other orders: do not interfere with property owned by petitioner or with utilities of the home. Okay. And then there was an August 22 court hearing for the ex parte order, which Betty was not at, and neither was her lawyer. They are claiming they were not properly served. But I think because it was an ex parte hearing, I'm not sure they had to be there, because this is for the temporary order, not for the evidentiary hearing will be on September 10th. And if Court TV is there, I'm going to cover it for sure. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, because I would like to see what actually happens in the evidentiary hearing. Okay. In the General Sessions Court of Sumner County, Tennessee, here's the petitioner's name: M. Bowersox, against A. Griffin. We're going to get down to the actual, it says, here we go. Describe abuse. Describe abuse, stalking, or assault. Include, if applicable, information about abuse or fear of abuse to your children, personal property, or animals. So M. Bowersox says, this woman has been to my home. Okay, if she's been outside your home on a public sidewalk, though, that is legal. It's not illegal to be out in front of someone's home. Posted flyer on telephone poles in my neighborhood. Okay, well, that's going to depend for me on what does the flyer say. And this does not go into detail about what does the flyer say. Because, for instance, if the flyer said, like in the Jeremy Hales case, Lynette Preston put on flyers accusing him of a heinous crime, then that would be a cause for defamation, a defamation case, perhaps. But I don't know if it would necessarily be a the sole cause of a harassment order unless it came along with another pattern of behavior, like in the Lynette Preston case where you had like the pulling of the gun by John against Jeremy. Then you had the signs plus like other stuff. There's like a whole bunch of other stuff, which is why he was granted the order of protection against them in Ohio. It was like what do they call it? A pattern of behavior. Holly says it was a missing person flyer of her grandson. So yeah, if that's all it was, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. I mean, I don't know though, because they don't include the flyer in this thing. So I guess we may have to wait for the evidentiary hearing to know that. So she posted flyers on telephone poles in my neighborhood, all while on video on the internet. I get that again, that's not a crime. That's not a crime to be on the internet. It's not a crime to be live streaming outside on a public street. It's also not a crime to be posting flyers and live streaming that. So again, so far I'm not seeing it. I'm still not seeing it. Don't forget, you guys, if you enjoy the show and you want to support it, you may send super chats, you may send Cash Apps, Venmos, PayPals at the addresses below. And also make sure you're following me at meganfox.locals.com. You can follow me there for free, and so that you can get all the notifications that YouTube won't send you because YouTube is asshole. And also welcome to my Rumble crew. Thanks for being here. I actually do have I have the thing popped out. Where is it? I thought I had the chat popped out on Rumble, but it has disappeared. Where the heck did my Rumble chat go? Ah, there you are. Yes, I see you there. Oh, shoot. Go back. Shenny Graham Yellrock says, I love you can see chats in StreamYard. Meanwhile, I can't get it to work for me. Yeah, it's a whole thing. All right, going back to this order and this explanation here, it says, she has approached my husband while he was driving my vehicle, posted my vehicle and photo of my license plate while inciting violence against my family. Okay, so let's break that down. She has approached my husband while he was driving my vehicle. I saw the video. We watched it in the last video, so I'm not going to play it again because we watched it in the last one. You can go back and see it there. It did not appear to me that she approached this man. It appeared to me that she was sitting parked in her car, and he drove up behind her and then came next to her, and she got out of the car and said, "Why are you following me?" And they had some words back and forth. That's how it appeared to me. It appeared to me that he sought out the contact with her. We all watched it together, and that's what it looked like. So I don't know. I guess a judge will have to decide. Now, posting my vehicle and a photo of my license plate. First of all, your license plate, this always bothers me when people say that your license plate somehow, a picture of your license plate is like doxing. You can't, how do you find any information with someone's license plate? Unless you have access to a police database. You can't find jack shit with a license plate. Nothing. You can't find anything. So I don't know how that has anything to do with the price of rice in China. If it were illegal to take a picture of a car's license plate, then a lot of people would be in trouble for just taking pictures on the road and accidentally exposing people's license plates all over the place. Now this part, while inciting violence against my family. Well, if that's true, that is definitely a crime. You cannot incite violence. That's not covered by the First Amendment. But unfortunately, Ms. Bowersox here does not put any evidence of this incitement to violence, not even a quote, doesn't say what the incitement was. It just says, while inciting violence against my family. She makes daily, sometimes multiple daily podcasts threatening to bring hell down, and it's continued, hell down on my family and extended members of my family. Okay, if that's a quote, bring hell down, that's not a threat of violence. That's an idiom. That's something people say. I don't know if she has said that. Now, I've listened to some of her streams, and I have not heard this with my own ears. I have also asked people because the comments on the last stream that I did, I got a lot from people who really dislike Bullhorn Betty, which again is your prerogative. You can dislike whoever you want. And they're telling me that she's made all these terroristic threats. So I've asked each of them, okay, well, if you can tell me timestamps and videos, because, you know, she's got hundreds of hours of videos. One person could not possibly go through them all. You must have clips of this, right? So send it to me. And by the way, I have reached out, everybody who has said that, I've asked for them to send it to me. Send me the evidence. No one has sent me any evidence of any of this. I have not seen any evidence that she did any kind of threats. I haven't seen it yet. Now, if you have it, please do send it to me. You can reach out to me at, I'm interested to know. I mean, I would not defend anybody who made violent threats against the family of a missing kid. My email is meganfox.writer@protonmail.com. And while I may not think that her type of investigation is helpful to a missing persons case, let's say, maybe I would think it was overboard and, you know, it's not something I would do. It's very important that we stay on the, what's important here is what is legal and what's illegal, what's protected by the First Amendment and what's not. That's what I care about. All right. It says she has an extensive criminal history with multiple instances of domestic violence in various states. Now, I don't know if this is true. It is disputed by Bullhorn Betty. She says it isn't true. But I will say that I think in her evidentiary hearing, I don't think that can come in, even if it is true, because it has to be about what's happening in this case. It might make a difference in the ex parte hearing, but I don't think it makes a difference in the evidentiary part because that would be prior bad acts, right? Which may not have anything to do with this particular case and what's happening in this case. Do you guys know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? But of course, this is disputed. This is disputed by her. All right, moving on. A lot of you are like, Bullhorn Betty is crazy. Wait, where was it? Here it is. Maybe, but that's not what this is about. This is not about whether or not you think that she's crazy or that she's over the top or she's too aggressive, or that's not what this is about. This is about, is it legal to arrest a YouTuber claiming harassment for these things specifically that are being mentioned? Now, if she did incite violence, if there was an incitement to violence, if she's asking anybody to go and commit violence, that is definitely against the law. And we'll see, they'll probably lock her up for it if that's the case. But so far, I have not seen anything. I've not seen that evidence. Yeah, and I'm starting to think this too. Christy Reese says most people hate her personality, so they just want her to be wrong. And I'm starting to think that, yeah, you know, she rubs some people the wrong way. And it's just like Aiden Carney. Many of you, when I first started talking about Aiden's case, were like, don't talk to him. Whenever people say that to me, don't talk to him. Don't go and, you know, this guy's nuts. It always backfires because then I'm like, why don't people want me to talk to this person? So I need to find out for myself. I need to figure it out for myself. And what I found out in Aiden's case is that he is being completely railroaded by the corrupt cops in Canton. Obviously, the judicial system in Canton is insane. All right. And people don't like, a lot of people don't like Aiden Carney, and he gets a lot of hate and stuff, but that doesn't mean what he does isn't protected by law. So, okay. Let's move on. She has threatened to purchase a gun here in Tennessee and bring that gun to my home in order to get answers. And that's in quotation marks, to get answers. Why are you creeping on me?
I want nail stuff.
Hold on. What? Don't do that. What are you doing? Don't be on camera. Stop it.
I need nail stuff.
Oh my God. My children. Well, then just take it.
Oh, I didn't know if this was.
But don't creep on me. You're freaking me out.
There's a scary person in the corner of the camera she can see just because of the webcam. Where's
What?
Your UV light.
That I don't have. You guys took it.
Oh, what about the other colors?
I don't have any more. Sorry.
You have the big thing.
Hold, please, while we figure out this very pressing problem my daughter had to interrupt me for
First day
because of her
college
nails.
I don't have it here.
I'm sorry. You're going to have to go find it someplace else. It's not here.
Oh, look at this though.
Someone took it. Very nice. Out. Please close the door.
Right.
Disobedient kids, man. So disobedient. Okay. All right. Let's see. She has threatened to purchase a gun here in Tennessee and has got and bring that gun to my home in order to get answers. Okay, well, if there's video evidence of this, if she has a recording of her saying this, then that may be a problem. No, I know I didn't mute my microphone. I just turned on that. If I mute my microphone while I play the hold music, you won't be able to hear the hold music. All right, let's see. Oh, I have to go back to the... I'm not sharing it anymore. Why is that? Okay. So that's something that could definitely be considered harassment if that happened. So if anybody has evidence of that, you should... Oh, I do hang a sign on the door, M169. They totally ignore it. They don't care. They don't care. School cannot start fast enough. It starts tomorrow. Ugh. She follows cars that meet the description of mine until she confirms that it isn't me. Hold on. Let me get this straight. Someone follows cars that look like yours that aren't yours. And that's harassment? No, come on. That's just crazy. That can't be real. That's not something that someone got a restraining order over. A person following cars that look like hers. How does she know this? Is she following her around, watching her follow other cars that look like hers around? I don't understand this. She claims that the police departments cannot stop her and she will continue until she gets the truth. Well, I think now I have heard Betty talk about police corruption in this area. She thinks she's criticized the police a lot in this county. She has said that she believes the police have not done a good job in this case. And she has the stream I saw, she had some very good points. If it's true that the police did not take fingerprints, they did not treat the house like a crime scene, they didn't treat Sebastian's room like a crime scene, and they didn't do any forensic testing, then I would agree with her, if that's true, that the cops did a bad job. And I think what she meant by saying that the police can't stop her, they can't stop her from criticizing them. Although it is starting to look like they want to stop her from criticizing them. And she will continue until she gets the truth. Well, there's nothing illegal about her continuing to look into this case, talk about the case. There's nothing, that's not a threat. But how can it be a threat to get to the truth? You know? She has stated that the property located at the rear of my home is where she is coming to next. So the property you don't own, not your property. She says she's going to go to the property located at the rear of your home. Well, if she has permission from that property owner, then she could be there. That is not, I don't think that's a threat of anything. I mean, when Nancy Grace does it, does anyone file a harassment against her? When Geraldo Rivera does it, does anyone file harassment against him? When 2020, runs after people down the sidewalk, no one files orders of harassment against them. She is very detailed in the information of my home and its location and entrance and exit doors. Okay, well, that's public information. That's on Google Earth. It's on probably Zillow. It's everywhere. So that's just public information. Anyone could have detailed information of the home, and the home is now part of the investigation of this public case. There's nothing wrong with her knowing the layout of the home and the exit doors, because the reason why she's talking about that is trying to figure out which door Sebastian may have left out of, right? And I did hear some of her broadcast about that. There's a whole argument about which door and how he could have left the house. She claims to be protected by her connections so much that she previously threatened to cut up and leave someone on the side of the road. Okay, again, if this was about somebody else, this is not about you. So this is not a threat directed to you. And I don't know if that can be used. I don't know if it was a tongue-in-cheek. I don't even know if it was said, because nothing's attached here as a, showing that actually happened. So again, that'll have to wait for the evidentiary hearing. This affects myself, my husband, my business, my grandchildren, my neighbors, and their minor children as well. I believe that. I believe that the attention on this case, this is the family of a missing kid. He's been missing for 6 months. I believe that they are negatively affected by all the attention. I'm sure that they would be negatively affected by court TV, negatively affected by any of this stuff, especially because when you have a missing child, lots of people jump to the conclusion that you had something to do with it when the child is not found, because a lot of times that's the case. Now, that's just something that people who are in this situation end up having to put up with. I mean, look at Maddie McCann's. That's funny. Bob Lee Swagger says, "Oh, look, Megan doesn't like being creeped on." Now, imagine if your kid was missing. Well, yeah, if she were in my house creeping on me over my shoulder, that would be weird, but that was funny. Thank you for that, Bob Lee Swagger. I appreciate that. That was funny. And Els Mickelson Stearman, thanks for the 2. Love from the Netherlands. You are wonderful. Well, you are wonderful too. Appreciate you. Deirdre Hodges says she accused the parents of unaliving their son. Yeah, it appears she does believe they're involved in the disappearance of their kid, but that is an opinion. She has the right to an opinion. Now, if she's accused them of a crime that they did not commit, they have the right to take her to court. Not criminal court, though. It's civil. So my argument is this order of harassment is not the right venue. It's not the right venue for the things they're claiming that she did. Well, some of them, I mean, we'll see if she actually did it or not, is the thing. Okay. So that was M. Bowersox. Now we have T. Bowersox, the grandfather's petition. So this is the grandfather's story. And all of these orders of protection, by the way, were granted by the court. All right, here we go. This is why did that skip down again? I was at the right spot, and then it just it went away. Where did it go? Where did it go? Publicly and physically approached me in my car, live streaming with cell phone, accusing me of stalking her and threatening my arrest. Well, we saw the video, and to me, it looked like he approached her, that he was seeking out the contact. Well, here's the thing, Demon Chihuahua, if he was there in the shopping center before she got there and then he came out, he still approached her. Did he have to do that, or could he have gotten in his car and driven away? She was stopped on the side of the road. So why did he approach her and seek out the contact? Public online threats of violence to my family, grandchildren, and our homes. And I would like to see what those online threats of violence are, because they keep claiming that there are threats of violence, but we don't see the actual threats of violence. Now, if, like I said, if there are threats of violence and somebody shows them to me, I'm going to agree with Mr. Bowersox that this was the right thing to do by filing the harassment order. But I haven't been able to find any. That doesn't mean they're not out there. It just means I haven't been able to find them. So if you guys know where they are and you can point them to me, the public online threats of violence, please send them to me. goes online, her webpage, and incites others to create mayhem in our lives and our family. What is mayhem? Because she can go online, she can talk about this case. She can talk to others about this case. I need to know, what is this mayhem? And then it says again, encourages violence. These are the things I haven't seen evidence of yet. I have not seen threats of violence. I have seen her say that she will hold them legally accountable, as in like she might sue them for damages if, she feels she's being harassed. So that is not a threat of violence. You can threaten to sue someone. That's not illegal. It might not be very nice, posting pictures of our home and address online. Well, I hate to tell you this, but your home is already online on Google Earth and probably Zillow, and your address is not private either. There's a lot of places that you can find your address online. All right. When and where did this happen? Specific approach 62524 Sam's Club parking lot of exit to Indian Lake Road was recorded on her live feed. Numerous online threats over several months. Now, notice how he only has the date of the one thing at Sam's Club, but the when and where of the numerous other threats, he doesn't have dates or times or examples. So that's unfortunate. If I'm the judge, I'm like, well, I need to see it. I need to see the examples. Where are they? So for Mr. Bowersox's, for your knowledge, you should have the examples of those for your evidentiary hearing. You're going to need that. And so these are stay away, no contact. This is what they want. They want her to stay away. Okay, moving on to Chris Proudfoot's story. This would be Sebastian's stepfather. His story is, where is the written part? We have to skip down. Here it is. Shoot. It keeps doing that. My mouse is hard to control. There. Continuously driving / creeping by my house at 0300 and other various times. Now, again, remember, Griffin lives in Florida. She said she's only been to Tennessee once or twice. So how many times could she have crept by the house? So again, this is driving on a public road in front of your house. Follows me to job sites in various locations. Well, that would be strange. So does he have videos of that or evidence that she followed him to job sites in various locations? Made threats using a pistol and a machete. Ooh, okay. Now this is an explosive claim. Again, I haven't seen it. I asked several people because somebody said this to me in the, somebody sent this to me in my, said it in my chat. And I asked them in the comments on my last video, and I said, oh, well, great. You have evidence of her threatening someone with a machete. That would be great. I would like to see that. Please send it to me. Again, I've asked everybody who says these things to send me the evidence that she did this, and nobody ever sends me anything. Now, the machete, I heard her on a live stream talk about the machete. She said she mentioned in a live stream that she was going to need a machete for the Tennessee woods in order to walk in them because they're so overgrown. Now, if that's true, that's not a threat to hurt anybody except for overgrown plants. So are we exaggerating here to get someone slapped with a harassment and stalking order? And if you're going on a search, searching for a kid, and you may need to cut through some underbrush, machetes will do the job. So again, I'll post my, those of you who say that this happened, that there were threats of violence, please do send me the video clips. Now, I do not want to get emails from you saying, you're not interested in this case because you won't watch all of her coverage. Just go watch her channel. I don't have hundreds of hours to devote to this. You people are making specific claims. And this person is making a specific claim that she made threats using a pistol and a machete. You should have evidence of that. And if you don't have evidence of that, it's not up to me to go find it. It's up to you to provide it. So if you have it, please do send it. meganfox.writer@protonmail.com. Now, please do not send me more of your complaining about how you don't like Bullhorn Betty's personality and you don't like her. Don't send me vague things. A lot of people are sending me things like, she harasses and stalks families of victims. I need to see the proof of that. You can't just tell me it happens and then you don't show me how. Like that's not, or say, you should do your own research. If it happened, it shouldn't be hard for you to send it. And then I'll play it and then everyone will know. Okay. Having her YouTube followers stalk and harass me and my daughter. Okay, again, there should be video evidence of that then, of her telling her followers to go and stalk and harass this man and his daughter. So far, I haven't seen that. So if you have that, please send. Had photos taken without parental consent. Well, if you're on a public street, though, anybody can take your photo. Anybody can. Yeah, I'm working, exactly, Rogue Mama, thank you. I'm working multiple cases. I don't have hundreds of hours to devote to this. Driven past my camper, blowing horns and yelling, calls me a murderer. Okay. Driving past your camper, not illegal. Blowing your horn and yelling out the window, not illegal. Is it bad behavior? Would I suggest doing it? No, I would not. However, this is the same thing that Aiden Carney did. He's now facing 120 years in jail for it. More time than Karen Reed for murder. 120 years, guys, for yelling out the window on a public street, which is not illegal. Not illegal. Calls me a murderer. This one's very interesting. Legally speaking, if you call someone a murderer, you are opening yourself up to a defamation suit. So, but you're not opening yourself up to a harassment order of protection because it's not illegal to use your First Amendment rights to call somebody a murderer. Now, if they aren't a murderer and you know that, that's defamation. Now, if she just believes that he's a murderer and she truly believes it, then it's going to be very hard to prove that she defamed anybody, because if she has a good faith basis to believe it, then that is just her opinion. But if he wants to challenge her on that, he can certainly take her to court for defamation. Because if you accuse someone of a crime, that can be defamation if it's not true. Where and when did this happen? My house in Hendersonville, my job in Memphis, Tennessee, and my camper in Horn Lake, Missouri. Is that Missouri or no, Mississippi? Okay, my house in Hendersonville. He just said the where. He didn't give us the when. So there is no when. He didn't answer the question when. So we don't know. All right. So what we do know is that Bullhorn Betty said that she did not get properly served. She and her lawyer did not show up to the ex parte hearing. The orders were granted. And she was told she could not contact any of these people. Let's look at the final order in the case. So this is the one that the judge signed. And they're the same for every single one. So I'll just go to the top one. Come on. Get up to the top. All right. They're the same for everyone. So we'll see what the court has ordered her not to do. The court orders respondent to obey all orders on this form, not abuse or threaten to abuse petitioner or petitioner's minor children, not stalk or threaten to stalk petitioner or petitioner's minor children, no contact. You must not come about the petitioner, including coming by or to a shared residence for any purpose, and must not contact petitioner and petitioner's children, either directly or indirectly by phone, email, messages, text messages, mail, or any other type of communication or contact. You must stay away from the petitioner's home, petitioner's workplace, children's home, and workplace. You must not cause intentional damage to the petitioner's property or interfere with the utilities at their home or threaten to hurt any animals. See if there's anything else. You must have or attempt to have, receive or attempt to receive or in any other way get any firearm while this or any later protective order is in effect. So she can't buy any firearms. She has to get rid of her firearms if she has any. She has to pay all the court costs, petitioner's costs, and her costs, lawyer's fees, and other fees or taxes related to this case. And it's like, I think $300 or $400 per person. Okay. No guns. It's valid everywhere in the U.S. No firearms. And you will face separate charges if you disobey this order. Okay, so everybody understands that what the order said. She can't contact them directly or indirectly. She can't have a gun, can't go by their property, can't make any contact with them at all. Okay, fine. But what happened after this? She was arrested for allegedly violating the restraining order. Now, I have the affidavit written by the police officer with the police officer's explanation of how she violated the protective order. This is really something. Let's put this up on the screen. And don't forget, if you enjoy this program, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe because that is free. It is free. And hold on, checking my phone real quick. Okay. Here's the affidavit. This is really interesting stuff. All right. In the state of Tennessee versus Griffin, affidavit on 8/22/2024, 3 separate protection orders were granted against the defendant, Griffin, by General Sessions Judge Ron Blanton. And those were the ones we just read. The petitioners on protection orders are K. Proudfoot, T. Bowersox, and M. Bowersox. According to the orders, the defendant cannot come about the petitioners for any purpose and must not contact them or their children, either directly or indirectly by phone, email, messages, text messages, mail, or any other type of communication or contact. On 8/22/2024, shortly after the hearing, the petitioners learned the defendant went live on her YouTube channel, Bullhorn Betty. Hold the phone. How did the petitioners learn this? Do you mean the petitioners sought out contact with Bullhorn Betty by clicking on her YouTube page? Did they seek out contact with the person they said they wanted no contact with? Because it sure sounds like that to me. It sounds to me like they're camped out on her YouTube page. That's really strange. And proceeded, she was on her live on her YouTube channel and proceeded to blast, I can't believe an officer wrote this, to blast how people were talking on social media about court. Oh my God, you guys, people were talking about court. People in the United States of America were talking about a public court case? Lock them up. Right, straight to jail. Where's my straight to jail button?
Right to jail, right away.
I mean, what? This is crazy. I'm sorry, but this is crazy. She was told not to contact these people. Having a YouTube channel does not contact them unless they seek it out. They have to seek it out. What, do they want her YouTube channel taken down? She's not allowed to have a YouTube channel anymore? And she's not allowed to talk about court? That's crazy. You guys, you do understand that that's crazy, right? Okay, so she proceeded to blast how people were talking on social media about court and what took place because the defendant failed to appear for court. The defendant threatened to sue the Proudfoots and the Bowersoxes multiple times. Well, so what? She can threaten to sue anybody she wants. That's not a threat of violence. She's allowed to say that I'm going to hold these people accountable in a court of law. And look at this part. And hashtag Chris Proudfoot, hashtag Katie Proudfoot, and their minor son, hashtag Sebastian Rogers on her YouTube stream, Can't Fix Stupid Tennessee. Oh my God, she used hashtags? No, Claire Richards, it's not a threat to say I'm going to sue you. That's not a threat of violence. That's a threat of legal action, and that's totally legal. That's totally legal to do. And using hashtags is also legal. She was not ordered not to use their names. She was not ordered not to type their names. She was ordered not to contact them. This is an unlawful arrest right here. Yeah, I'm sorry, but there's nothing. Okay, here. Let's get over to the video in question. It's only 7 minutes. The Can't Fix Stupid Tennessee. It's on her channel. It's sitting right there. So let's get over there and look at it. Now, let's see. Where did it go? Can't Fix Stupid. It's 7 minutes long. Let's pull it up. You're asking me if I'm drunk. No, I'm not drunk. It's not unlawful. Sure sounds unlawful to me. You can't arrest somebody for using people's names or hashtags. And you can't arrest someone for threatening a legal lawsuit. That's not a threat of violence. I don't think you understand what, I don't think you understand.
It started peeling, and the blister peeled on top of a blister.
So
I hope
here we go.
everybody's doing well. I'm not going to be here very long, just for a few minutes while my breakfast is getting prepared. Many people are talking about this whole court thing. I just want to say I cannot fix the stupidity of.
Okay, so Voice for the Voiceless. You're saying that's not why she was arrested. Yeah, it is. That's what's on the arrest affidavit. That's what I'm reading to you, and we're going to go back to it. But this is absolutely, she was arrested because the officer watched these two videos we're going to watch, and she was arrested for allegedly violating the restraining order, which did not tell her she was not allowed to talk about, to use the names or talk about this case anymore. All it said was that they cannot, all it said was that she couldn't contact them or go on their property. It did not say she had to stop making YouTube videos or that she could not use their, that she couldn't use their names. Voice for the Voiceless. No, I'm not going to give you a link. This is my show, and you can. No, I'm not going to. I'm not having people on to argue one side or the other. I'm telling you what I'm seeing in this from a legal perspective, from a journalistic perspective, from what I've seen in courts. This does not look like a legal arrest to me. But let's watch this video and see if there's anything in it that we think violated those restraining orders that I so thoroughly read to you.
The ignorance and the content creators that willfully violate the law, like trying to play the court proceeding unlawfully and illegally on their channel. Also, somebody showed up in court today and told people, listen, it's going to be extended until I'm properly served. And my attorney has already filed in the court action. I've told you guys before, I have hired an attorney. I plan on going after the Proudfoots and Bowersox legally over this. There's not a whole lot that I can say as far as I can't fix stupid. But, you know, this is why you don't go to felons for your legal crime news, because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know anything about it. If they knew anything about the law, they probably wouldn't be felons. I'm just saying, okay? You don't go to idiots for information. once again, we have an attorney, okay? We have a lawful legal attorney that's handling this matter on my behalf. No, I'm not going to be going to court. They're not going to see Bullhorn Betty's beautiful face inside that courtroom. The only time they're going to find my beautiful face inside that courtroom is when I'm going to testify on on behalf of myself at the direction of my attorney. Again, we have an attorney for this matter, 100%. And after this case is said and done, I will be going after the Proudfoots and the Bowersox for damages for them willfully lying under oath.
Oh,
you can see
that's the threat, that I will be going after the Bowersox and the Proudfoots for legal damages. And she's saying she believes they lied under oath. Well, if the things they said on those orders of protection, if those things were not true, then that is under oath, because you're signing that under oath. So if anything they said in there was not true, like for instance, the thing about the machete, let's say that Betty's story is right about that, and that she said she needed a machete to cut through the underbrush of the Tennessee woods, then yes, that would mean that someone lied under oath. And I don't know if she can sue for that. I think that's going to be kind of hard, but I mean, she could certainly petition the court to do something about perjury. But that's the threat, saying I'm going to hold you accountable in a court of law for perjury. What if they committed perjury?
To clearly see that you staggered these out to try to get me to come to court 3 or 4 times. This is malicious. This is an abusive process, and I can't fix the stupidity here on these streets. All I can say is you guys can believe what you want, but again, this case is not going away, not for me and not for the Proudfoots and Bowersox, okay? My attorney will handle it. At my understanding, he's already filed stuff into this case. He filed stuff into this case days ago. So the only reason why it was extended was because of service of process issues. And as you know, just like the first one, they extended another 2 weeks. My understanding is the next hearing will not be until September or sometime in September. So everybody can just sit tight, hang on. I got an attorney handling this matter. I don't need some yahoos on YouTube saying what is and what isn't. I can promise you, if they were believable, people would be on their channel believing their horse shit instead of over here getting the real facts and information. So I can't, again, fix stupidity. But no, you're not going to see me in court, okay? That's the whole purpose I purchased an attorney. That's the whole reason why we raised funds for this attorney, okay? We still are in need of funds. So if you guys would like to contribute to the legal expenses, please do so. We were able, by the gracious people of this channel, one person in particular, Lisa, that has provided some help, lots of help. And I'm very gracious for that. Through those efforts, we were able to raise $1,250 with all the people here. And while we don't try to rob our subscribers of funds unnecessarily, like Queen Bee did, we're spending the money 100% on legal expenses at this time. So if you would—
And again, there will be references to other channels and whatnot, and I have no interest in any of that. I don't know who's fighting with who and for what reason. We're just trying to figure out, is the arrest affidavit, the affidavit that the police officer put in, does she do the thing that the officer says she does here?
Would like to contribute, please continue to contribute. The legal expenses are going to be, I've got this paid for to take care of this matter, but there's also going to be legal expenses after this matter, because we are going after the Christopher, Katie, Terry, and Maddie, aka Kathy, once this is all said and done, for damages. What they did.
So she's saying we're going after them for damages. That's legal. Those are not threats of violence. And you can't, I think that one of the problems is there's a miscommunication of the order says you can't threaten them. That means with threats of violence. It's not really a threat to say, I'm going to apply to the law for my legal remedies that I'm entitled to under the law. It's not really a threat. Anybody who tells you that it is lying. They don't know what they're talking about.
It is unlawful. They lied under oath. They committed crimes, okay, against me.
Now, if that's not true, they have every right to sue her for defamation. But they don't have a right to seek a faulty protective order alleging that they're scared of her when she has not actually threatened any violence. That they don't have a right to do unless she has done those things. And like I said, if you have evidence that she has threatened actual violence, please send it to me. My email address is floating around out there. I've put it up on the screen several times. Feel free to send that to me. If I find any evidence of that, I will say, oh, well, I think I will be then on the side of everyone who wants her locked up, because I don't think that threats of violence are totally illegal. So if she did any of that, I do want to know, and I'll play it and I'll say, well, there it is. Okay, I don't have to worry about this anymore because I'm not ever going to threaten anybody with violence. I'm just a journalist doing my job, so I don't have to worry about getting put in jail. But so far, all I've seen is her reporting on a story, having opinions people don't like, and now she's going to jail? Nope. We have a problem. Houston, we have a problem so far. If you show me otherwise, I'll change my mind.
And so those things will be addressed at a later date, but I can assure you nothing was had. All they did was extend these protective orders, nothing different than what they did the last hearing. So I don't know what dumbass Fat Lips is saying, but I can guarantee.
I don't know who Fat Lips is, but she's allowed to use derogatory terms about people she doesn't like. That's First Amendment protected.
Whatever they're saying is a flat out lie.
Twin Thing, you have to understand something. Twin Thing says she isn't media. She has no credentials. There's that. That's not what makes you media. I'm sorry. This is the United States of America. There's a First Amendment right to a free press. And what that means is that our government is restrained from defining who is and who is not press. That is not the government's job. They have to stay completely out of it. So having credentials, do you know what press credentials are? They're issued to reporters by the company they work for. And it's just like a company ID. There's no such thing as press credentials. That doesn't exist. Now, sometimes a government agency like a police department or whatever, if there's like a really big case going on and they're having a press conference, they will issue press passes in order to go so that there are enough, so that they have enough seats for everyone. So let's say they have 20 seats. They're only going to issue 20 passes for the press to get in. And it's usually first come, first serve. They're not going through and picking out. It would be illegal for them to go through and pick out who's better press than the other one, who's friendly to the government and who's not, and keeping them out. That's illegal. So there's no such thing as a credentialed press person in the United States. If you have credentials, they're from private organizations, as in companies, news organizations, or clubs that you might belong to. They sometimes press clubs will issue credentials, but they mean nothing because you can't do that in the United States of America. You do not need credentials to be a member of the media. If you are covering a story, if you are bringing information to the public on a blog, on YouTube, on Substack, or on CNN, you're a member of the media, whether you people like it or not, and whether you want her to be one or not. She's performing media work, whether you want that to be true or not, whether you like her reporting or not. It doesn't matter. I've been reporting for 20 years. People still try to tell me that I'm not a member of the media. I've been in broadcasting and print journalism for 20 years, but there's always people who want to say, well, she's not real media. And you don't have to like what she does. You don't have to like Alex Jones, but he's a member of the media, right? All right. So now that we've got that out of the way, Emil, thanks for the 5. It says for support. I appreciate you, Emil. And the Thrift Mama, thanks for the 20. Thank you, Megan, for just going off the facts, the legal paperwork, and the restraining order. Nothing more, nothing less. Finding the truth in all the BS. That is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find out legally, because I don't care about all the personal problems between the people involved in this. I don't care about that at all. I actually don't even care about her coverage of the story. I think that's immaterial. Whether the coverage of the story is good or bad doesn't matter. This is about what the press, what media can and cannot do, and about the First Amendment. And I want to know if it was violated here by the government. If it was violated by the government, then we have a problem. So far, it's not looking good for the government.
That I can guarantee. So sit tight. Again, I'm not going to be on here very long. I've got a long day of travel today, but I'm not too worried about anything. I've got an attorney. The attorney's already filed stuff in the case. And again, it's being handled lawfully and legally. I'm not breaking the law. The Proudfoots and the Bowersox are. So that's going to come back and bite them royally. And these idiots don't know what they're talking about. And if you don't believe me, sit around and wait, because let's face it, they've gotten nothing right in years. So what would make them magically have this right? Just saying. They lie. That they build their platform on lies, and people have got to stop listening to them. And if you choose to listen to them, you will always be disappointed, because they lie and manipulate you. They lie and manipulate you. I can't even read the track or the chat. Tons of trolls this morning.
I'll speed her up a little bit.
Block them all, because we've got it on 5 days. So these people have been sitting around to comment. So if there's trolls in here, just block them. That's what we do this for. That's why I set the 5 days. That's why I set this 5 days. You guys are wishful thinking. I love it. People are saying, "Oh, you're screwed." No, I'm not screwed. I can promise you. I give you my word. Bullhorn, this is going to all go away. It's going to go bye-bye. And when it goes bye-bye and Chris and Katie are sued by me, then you guys will be like, "Well, how could you do that?" Well, I told you. And you guys were too stupid. Okay? We can't fix.
So she is talking to her detractors too. She's not addressing the Bowersox and the Proudfoots directly either. She's talking about what she's going to do in that case, because she thinks they've done something wrong and she thinks that she can take legal action. But she's really addressing the people who are her detractors. So, in the police affidavit where it's like, they're basically using the title of her video about can't fix stupid to somehow mean she is calling the Bowersox and the Proudfoots stupid. She's not. She's calling her detractors stupid for not understanding the legalities here, according to her understanding of it. So, again, it's a misrepresentation of what this video is about.
The stupidity on this platform. We can't take away the mental illness from these knuckleheads. Okay, I can. He doesn't. He's already filed stuff in the court case. Toe tag. So I hate to burst your bubble. I'm going to go eat my breakfast, but sit around and wait. I can guarantee you, promise you, 100%, you've been lied to and you were just fooled like an idiot because you listen to idiot channels. Mark my words. Peace out. See me. I'm not worried. God bless.
Okay, let's get back over to the arrest the affidavit that was written by the police officer in order to arrest her for allegedly violating the restraining orders. We are in the third paragraph. Okay, here we go. So again, I also want to point out how strange it is that they have the police watching her YouTube videos. Which reminds me of the Rekieta case. He got his door kicked in because police were monitoring his YouTube live streams. And that was one of the main reasons they used for justifying a search warrant was his live stream. And it's a scary world out there. It's getting scarier and scarier. On 8/22/2024 at approximately 12 noon, your affiant, who is Detective Lisa Byington, by the way, I feel like this detective might have more things to do. Like, I don't know, find the missing kid. But she's sitting around instead watching hours and hours and hours of Bullhorn Betty's live streams. Seems like an awful big waste of money to me. Your affiant received information from Katie Proudfoot that the defendant was live streaming again on her YouTube channel. So we have proof that Katie Proudfoot is choosing to initiate contact with this person she got a restraining order against by watching her YouTube videos obsessively. She's monitoring this person online. Is she allowed to do that when she has said she wants no contact with her? Is she allowed? Can Katie Proudfoot then seek contact with the person she got a restraining order against? Wow. Your affiant watched the live stream, which showed the defendant driving while videotaping her feed. Again, that's not illegal. Her restraining order did not say she was not allowed to live stream and drive at the same time. During this, although I would suggest against it because I think it's dangerous to live stream and drive. During this live stream, the defendant again threatened to sue the Proudfoots and the Bowersocks. Again, that's not a threat of violence. That is not. The live stream, titled The Garbage of YouTube, had hashtag Chris Proudfoot, hashtag Katie Proudfoot, and their minor son, hashtag Sebastian Rogers, listed on it. But again, the order said she wasn't to contact them. It didn't say she couldn't type their names in a hashtag or talk to her audience about it, and especially about this legal action that she's being put through. Based on these facts and statements, just the ones we just read, nothing else, because some of you in the chat are saying, oh, that's not why she was arrested. She was arrested because she showed up at a vigil. Well, that vigil was put on by Seth Rogers, Sebastian's dad, who invited Betty to it, and the other people who were in the restraining order, they weren't there. So it couldn't have been that. It could not have been that. It says, based on these facts and statements, your affiant believes the defendant has violated the conditions of the 3 separate protection orders twice this date. How? The protection orders that we just read did not say she was not allowed to use their names. She was not allowed to live stream. She was not allowed to drive and live stream, that she wasn't allowed to talk about this case. It didn't say that anywhere. It said she wasn't allowed to contact them directly or indirectly. But she didn't contact them. She's not talking to them. She was talking to her detractors online and to her audience. So I want to know, I don't know how this stands up. This is garbage. Therefore, your affiant is charging the defendant with 6 counts of violation of an order of protection. These offenses did occur in Sumner County, Tennessee. No, they didn't. I think she was in Florida. So that is really strange. Now, the second video, the one where it's much longer, and it has a lot of, and you can go see it on her page. It's called, what's it called again? The Garbage of YouTube. It has a lot of the personal infighting going on that I'm really not interested in between her and other channels. So I don't really want to play it, and I don't have time to play it anyway. I just really wanted to read all the court documents. And if you want to go watch it though, feel free to go to Bullhorn Betty's YouTube channel, look up The Garbage of YouTube. It's right there. And you can see if you think there's any violations. There's certainly, I watched it. There are no threats of violence, none. There's some talk of possibly suing a couple of people involved in the people who took out the orders of protection, because Betty says they're false. And from what I can see so far, I haven't been able to prove them true. I have no evidence that what they said about her is true. And what this officer is basing her arrest and charging her with 6 counts of violating a restraining order is based on these 2 live streams in which she did no such thing. She did not contact anyone involved. If they had wanted to restrain her from typing in hashtags with their names, they should have put it in the order of protection. But I can guarantee you the reason they didn't is because it would be a major violation of her right of free speech. You cannot restrain someone from, especially a member of the media, from talking about a public case. That would be a gag order. Oh, and by the way, I think I missed that. Let me go back to, because one of them did ask for a gag order. Hold on. One of the people, and I believe it may have been Seth, not Seth. Who's the stepdad? Chris? I believe that he asked for a gag order, but it wasn't granted. All right, let's go back over there. It wasn't granted though. At least it wasn't written in the orders that I saw and that I went over. He asks further down here. Here it is. This is shocking. Look at this. Other orders, general relief. Request to gag order. Respondent from talking. Oh my God. We want to restrain this woman from talking. We want to stop her from talking. What? That's not a thing. This is America, folks. Suggesting me any other... wait, what does that say? Suggesting... Oh, or any other ways about son's missing case. He wants her to stop talking about his son's missing case and be ordered not to have any form of third parties contact me or my daughter. Now, this part was not granted because it wasn't written in the other orders. There was nothing in the final order that said she had to stop talking about the case, or that she couldn't mention his name, or that she couldn't. There's nothing in the final order that says that. He asked for it. See, twin thing, you keep saying she isn't media. She's a bully with a cell phone. I'm sorry, but this is America. And under our laws, she technically is media. She has a bullhorn. Yeah. So what? So does Aidan Carney. A lot of people want to say he's not a journalist, but the guy wrote over 300 articles about the Karen Reed case. A person who writes 300 articles about anything is a journalist. Bullhorn Betty has hundreds and hundreds of videos where she's traveling to places and creating media and content about these true crime stories from the very locations, just like Nancy Grace does. Now, I don't particularly like Nancy Grace. That doesn't make her not a journalist. It just makes her a journalist I don't like. And so Bullhorn Betty is a journalist you don't like. She's a media person you don't like. And that's okay. You don't have to like her. But she doesn't get less rights because you don't like her. She gets the same rights that any media gets. Would I stand out somebody's house that I thought was a murderer and scream it in a bullhorn? No. But is it allowed under our Constitution? Yes. And you don't have to like that. I don't have to like that. But I do have to defend it. Because the day that they decide that Bullhorn Betty can't use a bullhorn to scream at somebody and call them a liar, that's when the rest of us can suddenly not be able to call anybody a liar. Like, what if it's a Supreme Court justice that you want to call a liar? All right, who's entering? Is it a child? No. They decided to back out. Back out slowly. I mean, you have to understand the bigger picture here. Kel says all her videos are threatening. Well, I've watched 2 in the last couple of days, and I haven't seen any threats, and they were several hours long. And that's about all I have time for. I haven't seen that though. If you think that you guys keep saying this stuff, all her videos are threatening, but nobody wants to send me the evidence of that. It can't, if you know about these threats, you can take screen grabs of them and then send them to my email. Again, I'll put my email up on the screen, and I promise you that if anybody sends me actual evidence of her threatening violence, I will change my tune. I will say, yep, she belongs in jail. meganfox.writer@protonmail.com. Again, I don't know Bullhorn Betty. I don't know any of these people in this case. I haven't looked at this case. I am just concerned about First Amendment rights of the media. And this scares the crap out of me. Request to gag respondent from talking, suggesting, or any other ways about son's missing case. I understand that these people don't like the coverage that she is doing. Lots of people do not like the media coverage that they get when they find themselves in the spotlight. You keep saying, do a quick YouTube search. I have been searching this for days on YouTube, and all I have come across are a bunch of people who hate Bullhorn Betty, and they have not shown me one bit of evidence that she has done anything illegal. You know, you like to be, you want to be like, you know, oh, I'm so stupid because I can't find it. I don't think it exists. But if it does exist, you have my email and you can send it to me. You can send it to me. I'm covering like 3 other cases right now. I'm not going to spend hundreds and hundreds of hours watching a bunch of YouTube channels to try and get to the basis of, some allegations you're making. I'm not going to do that. So you can, yeah, of course I've gone to her YouTube channel. I've watched several hours of it. I haven't seen any. But this is the answer I get from people when they tell me that they know that this has happened, and I say, okay, great, send it to me. It's there. Do your research. Is it though? Or are you just asking me to waste a bunch of my time looking for stuff that isn't there? If it were there, I would have thought you would have made like a bunch of TLDR videos already that are 5 minutes long that show me all these terrible things that she said. But I haven't seen it. Look. Yeah, you guys are going to have to show me the proof. And it's not up to me to find the proof. It's up to you because you're the ones who are claiming it. It's up to you. And it's up to the Bowersox and it's up to the Proudfoots because they have made allegations in a criminal court against this woman. So they need to prove that. The state has to prove it. They have the burden of proof. It is not the person being accused of the thing who has the burden of proof. Yeah, send me videos with a timestamp. Show me, and I'll show them. I will show it right here. We will talk about it. We will discuss it. And if I see threats of violence, I'll be like, yeah, well, she deserves it. And then I'm going to be like, phew, I feel better. The government is not trampling on our rights. But if you can't do that, then I'm just going to have to assume it doesn't exist. All right. Well, we got through what I wanted to get through today. I appreciate you coming by and supporting the show. There's a couple more super chats to get to. I wanted to point this out. Vandy Chris 24 said she attended a vigil for Sebastian, which violated the order of protection ×2. That's what the arrest was for. No, it wasn't. That affidavit by the police officer is what it was for. It was for making 2 live streams where she mentioned their names and she used hashtags. Oh my God, you guys. That is not an arrestable offense. That is not a violation of any of the orders on the restraining orders. I went over those. I showed you what she was ordered not to do. She did not do any of those things, which was contact the people involved, threaten their property, threaten their lives. She didn't do any of that stuff. So no, that is not right. That is absolutely incorrect. I just wanted to point that out. Jack's mom, thanks for the 5. I had press credentials when I worked for a golf magazine. It meant nothing except I got into PGA shows. That's exactly what they're for. Yeah. It wouldn't get me into anything else. That is correct. Here's my press credentials right here. Let's see. I've got, here's one for Town Hall Media that I think those are my CPAC credentials. Where's my other one? I have another one here somewhere. Oh yeah, here's another one. This was for a walk away event in Washington, D.C. Press credentials. You know, this is just something that private things issue when they have a certain number of seats for the press. They don't really mean anything. SF, thanks for the 5. If my kid was missing, I would want all attention, good or bad. Any attention might get my kid home sooner. Maybe. And I certainly, if my kid was missing, I would not have the time or the wherewithal to go after a small YouTuber. She doesn't have that big of a channel. It's smaller than mine. To go after her in court and spend my time and energy and money on this, like it seems strange. Kagus, thanks for the 5. Reminds me of them TDSers. I hate Trump. Why? Cause it's some good evidence. Yeah. SF, thanks for the 5. Pretty sure a lawyer asked you to look up cases that showed how badass he was. And when you called him out on it, it turned out he was full of BS. That's right. Yes, that did happen. That was funny. And my response to him was, all the best, all the best, all the best, all the very best, all the best, all the best, all the best, all the very best, Megan Fox. All right. So that's what I found. So I promised you guys that I would come back and I would read to you the court documents if I got my hands on them. I did get my hands on them. I hope that we've all learned something here today. And I'm definitely going to be covering the evidentiary hearing if if Court TV is going to carry it. That would be great if they did. It's going to be on September 10th, and then we'll find out. We'll find out what the actual evidence the Bowersox and the Proudfoots have against Bullhorn Betty. And let's see if they can actually prove the allegations that they've made in court. All right, everybody, that's it for me today. I will see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Remember, 8 a.m., my channel, be here. We'll be doing part 5 of Neighbor Wars with Legal Vices, the Levy County craziness that's happening over there. We're going to do that. And what else are we going to do? Probably Tuesday with Tug. I got to talk to him, though, and see if he's up for it. But right now, it's time for me to go. So thanks for tuning in. And those of you who are new here, thanks for being here. And subscribe if you like the channel. Talk to you soon.
I was so lost, my world is near its end. I almost felt my head is full of a million choices. I am alive, I'm not here to pretend. I love my friends, my heart is filled with a million voices. Oh, this road has many choices. Oh, and my heart, million voices. Come next to me, my friend, embrace the sky. I'm not afraid to fly. It's not the time to say goodbye. I don't wanna say goodbye. No, I don't wanna say. No, I don't wanna say goodbye. This time I know my road is near its end. I almost felt my head is full of a million choices. I am alive, I'm not here to pretend. I love my friends, my heart is filled with a million voices. Oh, this road has many choices. And my heart, million voices. Come next to me, my friend, embrace the sky. I'm not afraid to fly. It's not the time to say goodbye. I don't wanna say goodbye. No, I don't wanna say. No, I don't wanna say goodbye. No, I don't wanna say goodbye.
So I take it that
Johnny's
you've seen
problem is he
Cameron
should have
John's
come
bedroom
storming
before.
in there with
Yeah.
a string of
Do you
garlic
recall what
and
we
some
went
holy
into
water.
Mr. Jetson's
cross,
first
a crucifix
bedroom?
one.
May the
Do you
power of
recall,
Christ
or no,
compel you.
No, I don't.
You
wasn't sure.
realized
Miss
his house
Hubbard
was infested with
just got her
succubuses.
back.
And
There's a picture on here with you of what it, yes. Do you recall what that was there when you arrived in the afternoon? I don't remember seeing it now. So while she
No wonder he said drown her before you burn her.
oh my god.
You-
Your next witness?
Now I know
Witness
why you
Rogers,
wanted
known
to drown
as
her.
Laces, and
Next
that is
witness
also
lives in
by
Romania.
video
Is that correct?
that begins with his